But yeah, you didn't miss out. But I actually it's already recording right now. Just makes things easier. But
Oh yeah,
it's episode 157. Whoadie man is back. Whoadie san. Check him out on Twitch, on Twitter. Um, he's also the host of the Art of Boar podcast, one of my favorite things to listen to. So check him out.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Doing big things. But how you been, bro?
Been good, man. Been good. Just trying to get it. Put in all my lineups for all my fan dude stuff. I told you I've been. I think we talked a little bit last time about the gambling and everything, but I do more of the fan dude fantasy draft stuff and not. Well, I bet a little bit on the side, but
Yeah.
get your lineups in with COVID and injuries. If somebody's stuck or they injured, they're not playing, you completely be stuck out of a spot. So you really got to be attentive on it because people out every single night.
Oh yeah. It's crazy though. I feel like I'm glad you brought this up because this thought crossed my mind the other day that um I think the NFL was the one that like changed their rule where they said, oh no, it was it was the CDC that switched from like you needed to be in quarantine for 10 days to
Yeah.
5. And I feel like ever since then, maybe you can tell me, but it is the absences on COVID related illnesses like in the NBA at least. Had those gone down?
Well, they have gone down, but the entire country was in a big burst at
Yeah.
that point. Um, and I talked to one of my old bosses, and I told him this maybe last year. If you look at how the government adjusts rules for sports, that's what we get. So the first time they adjusted, I believe Texas, that was May of 2020. That's when we got the NFL back. And then they made another adjustment when the CDC said we can take our mask off. Well, that's when they brought the NFL back the second time and they opened up the arenas. And then this last time when they cut the protocols from 10 days to 5 days, everywhere shut off. So, us as regular people, I mean, if sports says that's how it go, that's how it go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've been for the NBA, injuries has been a way bigger issue than COVID was. COVID was like a month thing. These dudes have been injured in and out the entire, like CJ McCollum, he's just coming back. He had a collapsed lung.
Was he playing before he got traded to the Pelicans?
He
Had
had
he
just
already
came
come
back.
back?
Yeah, just came back. He was maybe back maybe 3-4 games, and he played heavy minutes. So I guess that's kind of showed them he could play again. So as soon as he came back in, he jumped
And
back
then
in
they
30
said
minutes,
peace.
and they say peace. Well, CJ McCollum has been in trade rumors, dude, for like 8 years. This has been the entire time
Yeah.
that they've been a duo. But the thing is, they are the second best duo in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
There's no dude backcourt better than them besides Steph and Clay. So, I mean, those are not the two people I would give up on. Like CJ McCollum is not the dude you trade, but he's the most value, I guess.
Yeah, that's funny. Has he played in more than one game for the Pelicans yet? Or just
No,
one?
this is probably gonna be his third tonight. They play tonight.
Oh shit. Okay.
It'll probably be his third tonight. Yeah, they getting straight to it. As soon as he came in, he didn't play the first game, but he played the one right after.
Yeah. I saw that he dropped like 36 or something like that.
Mhm.
He had a pretty good game.
He scores. He plays good defense. He does. That's what I'm saying. Him and Dame, those wasn't the problems. But at some point, you got to get on with things. Um, but I don't think that's the problem. The problems was every maybe 2 or 3 years they trade wings. We saw they just traded Robert Covington. That was the wing they tried to bring in. That didn't work. Last year, remember it was that last year, year before. Remember they brought in Melo. Everybody had the Melo craze for about a month or two. That didn't work. So they keep trading wings. They keep the same center and the same two guys in the backcourt. And the small forward and power forward, what they keep trading back and forth. So I guess this time they was like, okay, we're just gonna blow it up. Um, but I think it's more to blow it up for Dame, and you could trade him at the end of the year instead of I don't know when this deal is, but I damn sure wouldn't just let him go whenever it is up.
I don't know. I feel like you could do whatever you want, and Dame would just be like, "Nah, I'm gonna wait it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
I'm gonna stick around and
I
see
don't
what
know his
happens."
contract. Like Bill's contract is up this year.
Hmm.
So Bill is saying he wants to stay. But of course you want to stay because Washington can offer you the biggest contract. That's what John Wall did. He got the biggest contract he could possibly get. That's why he's getting paid $47 million to not even play basketball right now.
Yeah.
Because the contract he got for Washington not even sustainable for other teams. Like I could see the NBA. I don't even know the business of it. But knowing you have $50 million players that teams really don't want, I can see the NBA having some kind of weird lockdown type of thing. Like you gotta you gotta fix the years because Westbrook is only a bad player because he makes 50 million a year. If he
Hmm.
made 20 like anybody else, he wouldn't be a bad player because they would have the cap space to actually bring in DeMar DeRozan and everything. He's only bad because he's $50 million a fucking year. I mean, it's nothing you can do. LeBron's getting 38, AD's getting like 38. You have no roster, no cap space. So that's the only reason these dudes are bad, but I can't see how that's sustainable. Because would you pay Bradley Beal $52 million a year? Or 48, 46?
No, he's number one, he's strictly an offensive player. And number two,
Yeah,
he's he's not old, but he's not like a young guy anymore either. He's
he's
been in the
not
league since I think 2011, 2012, something like that.
he's not a spring chicken at all.
No.
Um, and it's not like they can win with him. I saw that they bought in Porzingis to kind of show him that hey, we can make the moves that y'all can make that we can make to keep you around. And the Wizards, they didn't do anything bad. Nothing wrong with Montrezl Harrell. KCP has been playing all right. Kuzma is probably most improved player. You would think, right? Kuzma,
Yeah.
he's probably most improved. Um, and he's been scoring like he had a streak scoring 30. Carl Kuzma is putting up 30, 14, and 12. Like that's a big deal. I'm not sure how they couldn't get that out of him in LA. I'm not sure how they couldn't get that out of Ingram in LA. Or Alonzo. I mean, they had him. Well, they got the championship, so that's all that matters. But
Hmm.
these dudes are like 24 years old. That's the future. You could have still had those cats. 23, 24.
Julius, Josh Randall, Josh Hart,
Mm-hmm.
D'Angelo Russell. Yeah.
That's really it. And I read an article yesterday. This is the last year that they pay Luol Deng $5 million. They're still paying him. This is the last year they're paying money. And I don't know how long he's been out the league. It's been like 8 years
No.
since
Yeah.
I've seen Luol Deng. I don't know, but they're still paying him. This is last year, get $5 million. So it's damn near better than Bobby Bonilla because Bonilla get the one every year.
Yep.
He's been getting like 5 the last probably like 7 years. So yeah.
I think the Red Sox just finished paying Manny Ramirez.
I don't know their deal. How was his deal?
I think it was something like the Bobby Bonilla thing. I think
Okay, when
it must have been where it was just like, yeah, staggered like that. But it's pretty funny. Guys you
it's
haven't
probably
seen
easy for
play.
them.
Yeah.
Huh? I said it again. I'm sorry.
Oh no, just funny like guys you haven't seen play and guys who haven't even crossed your mind in years, but still collecting a check.
Yeah. Yeah, and a baseball organization, it's probably real easy to burn through that. Like it's $1 million. Who these dudes, they paying $165 million contracts. You paying one dude $1 million for 40 years. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they literally wipe their ass with it. That's why you pay him $1 million for the next for however long it's been. It's been a long time. But I just don't see anything like in basketball. Well, in basketball, that can't really happen because in baseball, you have like designated hitters and stuff. So I guess the cats can stay around for a while.
Yeah. I have a question, and I
Yeah,
just thought of this because I see the hat you're wearing, which is a very nice Seattle Sonics hat. If
appreciate
the
it.
Pelicans were to move, I feel like Seattle would be up there for candidates. Would you still like root for them at all?
No, I don't know who the Pelicans are. I may have a Pelican hoodie on, but no.
Oh, that's right. You're
Yeah,
already done
no.
with them, right?
I'm done. We're done. Yeah, we're done. We're done. We're done. The title of this abusive relationship. Well, I'm on the one side of the ass whoopings. No, we're done. I've been on the one side of ass whooping since a 64-point playoff loss to the Denver Nuggets. So it's been a long time coming. As a fan, well, you're Patriots fan, so you don't know what this means to struggle, because you kind of had been getting it through Boston and all you Boston teams, really. Y'all been getting it, but it's been a long time, but kind of struggle over here.
What was the final straw, would you say? Because it was at some point this year, right?
I haven't watched a basketball game for them all year. So it's before the season,
really?
easily. I haven't watched one Pelican game all year. I've watched Detroit Pistons games, and I didn't watch a Pelican game.
Yeah, you're nasty. I remember you said that last year.
I was watching Pistons Kings. That's how disgusting I am. Yeah. Pistons fucking Kings. Yeah. Terrible person.
The Isaiah Stewart, Marvin Bagley matchups.
Yeah, man. And they just getting bags. I think well, first of all, the thing with Bagley and the Kings was so weird, right? So they barely played him for the entire year. They was playing him like 5 minutes, 7 minutes. And right before the trade deadline, they kick his minutes up. Give him 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. So for him to play good enough to have trade value.
Yeah. Show everyone else that he's, still a good player and worth trading for.
Ain't that some shit? What are you drafting? What are you drafting people for? Like, I understand they've been drafting a lot of forwards and bigs. That's why they just traded for one.
Yeah.
But it's a top pick. What pick was he? He was a top pick, right?
Yeah.
He's at least top 10, top 15. I mean,
for sure. He was a
and what did he get? Well, he got traded for Sabonis, right? But you see, it's different, right? Because Sabonis is already a proven all-star. And we know how Halliburton maybe can get. We think how good Bagley can get. But on one hand, you're trading 2 top 5 picks for Sabonis, 2 top 10 picks for Sabonis. And on the other hand, you just traded 2 dudes that we don't even know is going to be good for a proven all-star. So, I mean, who wins that trade? You know what I mean? Like the Boston, New York trade from way back, not New York, Brooklyn, the Boston Brooklyn trade, the ravaging that Boston did to Brooklyn. That actually turned out okay. You got Tatum. But for most people, that don't really turn out okay. So, I know it was a lot of upfront people that didn't like the trade. I didn't like it upfront too, but it's a proven all-star. You want to prove an all-star on your team versus who's the rookie potential for y'all? I mean, like Pritchard or somebody? Do you think he can get to that level? Probably not. He can be a good player, a decent player though, right? Average player, good player, but
yeah,
I don't think he's that Halliburton type of ceiling. But it's a proven all-star. It don't make sense for a team that's not going to doing nothing anyway. So if it's Boston, y'all want to go further, so you trade young talent to get us a bonus or prove an all-star, because you can get to the playoffs already, but you want to get further.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Sacramento, so what are they doing?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I just wanted to look up the details of the trade.
A trade?
I think he was in a separate trade.
He's in a separate trade. Okay.
So,
well, no, I was just thinking about Halliburton in general, but
yeah,
he was in a trade for maybe Trey Lyles, I think.
Let me see here.
I think it's Trey Lyles.
So, he was actually part of the. He went to the Pistons. Rodney Hood went. From the Bucks to the Clippers. Semi Ojeleye also went to the Clippers.
Okay, so he was just in a get this motherfucker off my team trade. Okay, because that's the Serge Ibaka trade, there, right?
Yeah, Serge Ibaka went from the Clippers.
Okay, so he was just in a we need to get this motherfucker off our team trade. But that's even
crazy.
Worse because this is he's a top 8 pick.
Yeah, I remember him being like a lottery like Duke player.
At
in
least,
his.
yeah, I know. I don't remember his pick, but I remember his high. But I know him and his people, like maybe him or his wife or his agent, they got into it with the Kings organization
Mhm.
about his playing time. So I guess that's why you give him away. But I mean, you kind of gave him what he wanted, but you gave him to a worse team than you. That's a big fuck you to give. It's a team that's worse than the Kings, and they found a way to
Yeah,
give him away. Like, yeah. So they found a way to just say, hey, yeah, you figured out your fucking self. So it's tough for him because you get drafted by a terrible franchise, but now you got an even worse franchise that you're dealing with. And I mean, what's the playing time he gonna expect? They got Jeremy Grant, who may be leaving soon, so he may could get some time in, but I don't think Kelly Olynyk is gonna be there that long. Isaiah Stewart is there. I can't think of any other fours or bigs they got, but being playing for the Pistons don't seem too fun.
Yo,
We
mm.
get paid $2 million a year, so who cares?
Yeah. So that actually brings me to an interesting subject. I feel like if you're a guy like that and you've only had the experience of playing for a bad team, you've never had success. Let's say you do have a long career of but you're just bouncing around from one mediocre team to the next. Do you think that those guys even care about winning at all? Like once they've been in that situation for long enough that it's like either they do care about winning and they're pissed, or they don't care and they're just cool. It's like, I get to play anyways and go from city to city and meet up with girls, whatever.
Well, I would think that after a while, when or if a family starts to set in, maybe you got some kids,
Yeah.
got an old lady, you can't be going from city to city like that because you got to have kids in school.
Hmm.
You can't have them in school in Phoenix and then school in Houston. The damn the school year don't go with the basketball year like that. So I know a lot of cats. I remember when Toronto was playing in Florida for a while. Um, for COVID, Van Fleet, whole family was in Canada.
Yeah.
So for the COVID season, when Toronto's playing in Florida, his kids and wife is going to school in Canada. So I mean, that's a thing to do. So I know a lot of NBA players usually have a base. Most NBA players, like from the Rockets, they stay in Houston because it's cheap here, and
Hmm.
they get you like Kenny Smith. You go to a bunch of other teams, but your main house is in one place. Um, but I would assume if you're actually competitive, you want to get on a winning team. I mean, who don't want to get a late ring with
Yeah.
LeBron, or with somebody else? There's a lot of cats. J.R. Smith come in and get a late ring. He's one of those guys that's team to team for a little bit, but we didn't see him as that kind of main guy. Come in, you get a ring that could change your trajectory, change a lot of things about you. So I would say they're getting them checks. So I mean, you're just playing basketball. Like
Yeah.
the dudes that's playing overseas, they can be going from country to country too, but they're not getting paid what you're getting paid here. So I would assume for them, it's a happy medium just to be in the league in general. What's the league minimum? Can you look up what's the league minimum? I haven't looked it up so long. It's probably,
Let me see.
I used to think football was like 100,000, maybe. It's probably should be more than that. Um,
Let's see. The league
you think
minimum
about the
for
cats that don't play, like how many people on the Celtics you just that get no minutes, like, but they still get paid pretty nice. Like,
yeah, I wonder
you
what
still
the
get
like the
paid.
mental psyche is for players that are in that situation. Like
Yeah.
what's the majority of them that are really bothered by it versus what's the majority or versus what's the percentage of them that's like, yeah, whatever. I'm getting money, so who cares? But
Because they were real winners in college. These guys won in college. They won in high school.
yeah.
So I assume it's a big ego hit to not play basketball at all. I'll be playing like 6, 7 minutes. Look at DeMarcus Cousins. The trajectory he went on, he on another 10-day contract.
Yeah.
Like, how does that feel, as far as his psyche? Because he's trying to figure out, he went from average of 28 and 10 to trying to figure out if he can get a spot
That's
long
crazy.
term for months. Like, he's been on like 3, 4 teams, 10-day contracts. Like, I think he's playing for Denver now, and they just signed him to the third 10-day contract.
Oh yeah.
So you can't even give me a real shot. You just got to keep giving me 10 days, 10 days. So what's wrong with him? Is it attitude? Is it injury? Is it, it's just a whole lot of stuff for them to playing about. But I mean, when you already got 10 million in the bank,
Could be worse.
it could be worse. Yeah. I mean, you be living a real modest life for the rest of your life, but it'd be a lot better than most other people who didn't make $10 million by the time they was 27 or 26. You know what I mean? 15 or 20 million by the time they 32 or 35. I mean, can't really complain about that shit.
Yeah, so I'm looking here. It says that the league minimum salary is between 925 grand
Oh
to
my God. Oh,
2.6 million. And I guess it varies depending on how long you've already been in the league. So I'm guessing a rookie is on the lower end and someone who's been in the league for a while is closer to the 2.6 million. But damn,
so you making
basically
bank. Yeah.
you're making at least $1 million if you're on an NBA bench.
Cuckoo, sign me up. You gonna pay me at the last, you gonna pay me at the minimum $900,000 to sit here in this same type of seat and watch?
Yeah.
I'll keep my dogs motivated all we can, and we're gonna collect these checks because they get paid. Did you see first of all, I know the crazy tweet from Brandon Spikes. With him, he posted a bunch of Super Bowl pictures, but he posted one with him and Aaron Hernandez, just
I
like
didn't see
posed
that.
together at the Super Bowl. Yeah, Brandon Spikes. Is Brandon Spikes? Yeah, he played for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Them two posing together, and that's the one that went the most viral yesterday. But he did made like 20 posts, all Super Bowl pictures, right? But he was saying somebody made fun of his shoes. He was like, they paid me $250,000 just to wear the Reebok shoes. They would get paid just to wear Reeboks.
Yeah.
So think of all that extra cash you're making when, let's say, the team is owned by PayPal. Well, them emblems and his logos is on the jerseys. You get a piece of that now. Because from the logo being put on the jersey, that's paid advertisement. You the player wearing it, so you get a piece of that. So that 900,000, it's probably going up. They probably adding another 200,000. You got shoe deals because everybody don't have not Jordan, but shit, I can have a little Reebok shoe on the shelf and be, $40-$50, whatever it is. It don't have to be a signature shoe, but it could be a generic shoe that they want me to put on or wear.
Yeah.
That's another 6-figure check. Like, so these cats can, I mean, I went from a little sympathy to goddamn 900,000 motherfucker to sit on a bench.
Dude, you know what I would do for 900K a year right now?
Hey, a lot
There's
worse
not
than
much I
sitting on the
wouldn't do.
bench. Yeah, a lot worse than sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
For how many months a year your time? Like 7 months, 6 months playing basketball or looking at other motherfuckers play basketball.
Traveling to, the nicest cities in the country, eating the best food, hanging out with some of the most famous people. And
that's hotels.
Yeah. Yeah.
That serves. And when you're rich, you don't pay for nothing.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna pay for shit. They give you free calls. Somebody will give you a call just to get on the commercial and say, hey, promote my call lot. They give you a call. So you don't have to do shit. So, okay. I talk about all the time, man. They get no tears from me. This dude's putting.
I would love to see. I think it'd be an interesting reality show or some sort of like video blog to follow around the last guy on a team's bench, just to see. We don't even need to see how the superstars live. I want to see how the 15th guy lives. Yeah. I think that would be. I'd be curious to see like how nice his life is and how nice of an apartment they live in.
900 grand and a shit. That's a lot. I know somebody with a 6-bedroom brand new house. They pay 1,100 in a great neighborhood. It's Houston, so it's a little different. Yeah. But they pay 1,100 a month. 6-bedroom, newly built, all up, fresh, everything. They pay 1,100. Now it's not in the middle of Houston. It's not downtown. They pay you more for downtown. It's about 40 minutes out. But everybody live 40 minutes out in Texas because everything is a 40-minute drive. So just imagine somebody that works a regular job with a 6-bedroom house that pay 1,100 with not great credit. They were just able to do this. What can a 900,000 do here, especially here? Yeah, because it's just cheaper. It's just cheaper down here. So I'm sure, if you work it right, dog, like you can stretch this money. It's 900,000 a year. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm thinking about it. You give me just 900,000 a check, and I'm fine.
Yeah, give it to me
Uh,
once.
just once, yeah. Just imagine
I'll
for
make it
7 years.
last.
Yeah, like it's pretty crazy.
Crazy. All right. One of the primary reasons that I wanted to talk to you again was to cover Ozark, which
Yeah.
just wrapped up the first half of the final season. And I didn't see exactly when the second half's going to come out, but I think I heard rumors that it's going to be in May. But either way, so that's going to be 7 more episodes. That'll be it. But
Is that it?
yeah,
Period, or
that'll be it.
just it's done in general, the show?
Yeah, because they knew that all they had left was the final season. They were just splitting it into 2 halves.
Okay.
I guess they decided that probably it must have been right after they finished season 3. But yeah, any general thoughts on the show before we get into specifics?
Um, Same general thoughts. I hate the kids. I think the kids are the worst. These are the
Yep.
worst people to ever live, the actual children. Um,
Yeah, it's that meme of Jordan. Fuck
yeah,
them
like
kids.
these are bad kids. These are terrible kids. The son is crazy. Um, the daughter she's crazy, but she's bold crazy. Like she's even crazier than him somehow. And he's the one that's shooting up stuff. Like the daughter somehow, because she's manipulative also.
Mhm.
Um, the wife I don't like, but I understand her because she gives them strength in certain ways, as opposed because I used to see her in the same type of light as the wife from Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
but that's not the same person. Breaking Bad lady was a terrible lady that shouldn't have made it the whole show. She should have been in a fucking crate somewhere. This lady is that in ways, but she's also gives them a lot of strength in ways, the whole family and him in general. Because he's a little meek, but he has his moments. But I like the season. I thought it was strong. I'm not a huge fan of the main boss. I always forget his face or his name.
Yeah, I
Um,
forget too, actually.
but the nephew, he was great.
Yeah.
Dale from before, they were great. I always like the other people he put in place a little bit more than him. Um, but yeah, I thought it was, I mean, another good season, another good part of a season.
I always feel like it's they make the wife out to be like kind of not a villain, but someone that you would get annoyed with and pissed at. But then
Yeah,
you always have to realize like it's yeah, they make her seem kind of crazy in what she does and how bold she's willing to be, but it's Marty that originally got them in that
yeah,
situation. So like it's if you want to blame anyone, it's obviously him that started
yeah.
the whole thing. But who do you think who do you think's gonna survive in the end? Or maybe you think all of them are gonna survive.
I think, well, the way the show is written, it just kind of seems like they just maybe the kids and what's the chick?
Darlene. Oh no,
Not
not
Darlene.
Darlene.
Uh,
Ruth
Ruth.
Langmore.
It really feels like just the kids and Ruth will survive.
You think so?
Because they seem to be the only ones that's not deep directly in shit. You know what I mean? Like they are
Yeah.
around it. They're the water holding it up, but they're not in the shit. The Marty and they're the ones that just keep. I don't know. Quicksand is the worst type of word, but goodness gracious, it just keep fucking up. It keeps getting worse and it keeps getting worse. The nephew was bad enough, just being reckless, fucking shit up the entire season on purpose. And then at the end, again, another a show of just being extremely reckless. But I mean, I'm not surprised at the ending. I was kind of expecting that ending uh, for both of them, for Darlene and and the cousin. I didn't.
Yeah.
I figured they would both go. Just from him being in the house with her, I figured that's how he would go because she was just too gangster, man. You can't just be that gangster and it not happen tragic. Like the most gangster people in shows usually don't survive, and when they go, it's usually just a big shock. So,
Right.
she was my favorite character though, Darlene. Her
She's
and
like
Ruth are my favorite characters.
yeah. Yeah, she's like when you say the most gangster, she's kind of like how Marlo or Omar were in The Wire.
So back talking, yeah, you make a decision, you decide to say something to her, and then you're gonna have to stand on it, and it don't look like you standing for long because
No, you will usually get a shotgun through your torso.
she laying motherfuckers out. So yeah, I thought she was just ruthless. I thought she was great. She reminds me of um the Hateful Eight, Daisy Domergue. Have you
I've
seen the
seen that.
Hateful Eight before? Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, it's a 4-hour movie. But it's a 4-hour Tarantino movie with Samuel Jackson. So
Okay.
it's definitely worth watching. It's always on Netflix, been on Netflix for a while. But if you haven't seen The Hateful Eight, watch the director's cut. And it's an amazing movie. But there's a lady there, her name is Daisy Domergue. That's the next thing we're gonna talk about. We're gonna when you watch Hateful Eight, because
Okay.
it's a 10 out of 10 movie. Daisy Domergue, how nasty she was, reminds me a lot of Darlene. I think when you watch it, you'll see the similarities in between. She's nasty.
Man, and I wanted to look up the actress too because I was like, they make her not just mean, but damn, she looks scary as fuck.
Yeah, she looks
She
scary as
looks
fuck, yeah.
like someone out of the Blair Witch Project. I don't know if
Yeah.
you ever seen that movie, but they interview before the movie really starts. They interview a bunch of people in the town to ask them like, what do you know about the Blair Witch? Have you ever been to that area? And everyone that they talk to is it's pretty weird and kind of creepy. But there's one specific lady who actually looks like a witch, and looks a lot like Darlene, who then looks a lot like that. I know you saw that meme earlier last week of the dude that was making out, a young dude,
Oh,
probably
the
like
chick. Oh, yeah, the young black dude with the older white lady. Yeah. You know, I am not. I'm not opposed to those type of things. People do what they do. You like who you
yeah,
like.
no
You love who you
judgment.
love. I don't have no judgment for that stuff because it's crazy people everywhere. So you can find somebody for you, cool. It just don't make sense.
It also just felt like they were doing it for the video. Like I
But
don't know if I
apparently they're
believe that
not.
they were. Oh, really?
Apparently, apparently they do some exclusive content as well. So when you go back and you look under that thread, when you saw the meme last year, there was like a little video. I believe it was like a TikTok video. Unfortunately for me, I read comments and it's blurred out, but it's her face. And
Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah.
So you're saying they offer a subscription to
To
see more of what they do.
OnlyFans. Yeah,
Got you. Okay. That is
yeah.
that kills my theory. I thought they were just strictly doing it for one video for clout.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. And yeah, you like I said, it is what it is, but I just don't. Where would you meet? How could you meet? Unless they're in the country, they're in Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, everybody's around everybody, but usually it just don't look right. It just don't look. I don't know. I don't know what looks right or wrong, but because I've seen every combination of everything. Between the short dude, he's like a dwarf with a real pretty girl and all. I've seen every variation of everything, but
Yeah.
very weird. But back to Darlene. We just went from damn some nasty OnlyFans shit. So back to Darlene. She was real gangster. I never was a huge fan of the cousin. He could have went at any time anyway. But her and Ruth are easily my favorite characters because Ruth, she just handles shit. She just gets shit done. She just done. It's just done. So I would assume if anybody gets away with this clean, it would be Ruth because she gets dragged almost into everything. She handles her own shit,
Yeah.
but she gets kind of drug into everything. So
And I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
think
every
so.
time that she has a chance to like fully turn on Marty and the birds, she doesn't.
She doesn't. Yeah.
She's gotten close a couple times, and then you can clearly tell that there's good in her, as
Mm.
good as you can be when you're in that situation, as in deep as she is. But she's had the chance to betray him. I honestly thought that she was maybe going to shoot like Wendy in that final scene of this season when she just
Oh, when
like
she
lost
walked
her
in.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
That scene was scary.
they deserve a good old backstabbing. I mean, somebody deserve a good old pistolina. One of them at this point. I mean, geez Louise, how long it's been? Somebody needs to go. Um, so that's why I think that it'll be both of them, because you can't, the way they've been writing the show, which has been great, you can't keep getting away with what you're getting away with.
Right.
Everybody, it catches up to everybody. At the end of last season, when Karen, she got blasted, I'm like, Jesus Christ, okay, if she can go, then anybody can go. Not Karen, what's her name? Was that her name, Karen?
Um.
I don't know names. At the end of the very last episode of last season, when
Oh,
they
the
got to
lawyer.
the lawyer, yeah, what was her name? I forget her name. I don't know.
I can't remember, but like
Oh,
one of the most evil characters so far in
yeah.
the show.
So I figure she can get killed. Anybody can.
Yep.
So that's why my tinfoil hat theory is. I
Okay.
think Marty and Wendy. Yeah, I think they're gonna go.
Yeah, I want, as much as Marty is obviously responsible for everything, I want him to survive because I do find him entertaining, and it's just crazy how calm he remains in every situation.
Yeah,
Like impossibly calm. Never happened in the real world that you get told that you get told by your boss that you have like 30 minutes to make something happen.
yeah.
Like cut a deal with the FBI or else you're done. And Marty's like, all right, I'll handle it. Me and Wendy will figure it out. But
And,
yeah, I don't think he's gonna make it.
no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. And picture that thing. I guess that was the first season. Um, when he found out, when Dale found out that his friend was betraying him, and was taking money, and he started just murking everybody right there in front of him on the ground when he had everybody. I mean, once you've gone through like 4 or 5 of those, I'm gonna assume most things are like easy. Like you just watched 8 different people get shot up around you. Some of them you good friends with,
Yeah.
and then it keeps happening and happening and happening. I'm going to assume that little numbness comes in, but uh, yeah, they can't keep ducking it all this time, man. They can't keep ducking it. There's no way it ends like that.
No. I do have a tinfoil hat theory myself. I think you remember their cousin from last season, Ben? Or not cousin, Wendy's
Brother.
brother.
Yeah.
I think he's still alive
Oh shit.
because they seem to hint at that a lot during these past 7 episodes where they kept bringing him up. She went to go, that detective or whatever that was looking for the dead lawyer, then went looking for Wendy's brother. Um, then Wendy went looking for her brother, went to go meet up with her dad. And I don't think we never actually saw.
It happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
It,
if in like the last episode of this season, if they then confirmed that Ben was dead or not, but I don't think that they did. So if they
I don't
didn't,
think that they did. I think they kept confirming that he was missing.
yeah,
Um, I think they was confirming he was missing, but I do see that as like a little weird test of loyalty that they, her test was to put her own brother on the line,
hmm
and him just popping back up. I can see that. I didn't like him as a character though. I thought he was weird, but that is a good tinfoil hat there. I could see him popping back up.
Oh,
Um,
he was so annoying, dude. He
yeah, he's
he
very
he was
annoying. He's
worse
very
than the
annoying.
son,
Yeah, he's
worse than
very
the
annoying.
kids in terms of fucking shit up.
Yeah,
He was
and
always
he's
a problem.
and he's a grown up, so that's why he's worse for his fucking kids. It's fucking shit up. These kids is fucking shit up, but they probably like 15, 16 in the show. So,
Yeah,
fuck. You putting guns and murder around 16-year-olds, you can't really control him. This is a grown man. He looked 40, 35, and he's sleeping with old Polo Ruth. He was already creeped me out.
Yeah.
when he started, and then he started trouble. How do you think these things go? Like,
You know what's funny is that because of COVID, I think the show has had delays a little bit, just like every other show. And it's always funny to see what happens to the child actors. Like the daughter, not so much because her voice hasn't changed or anything, but the kid, he used to have like a high pitched voice when the show
that's not
started.
no more.
And I think it's only been, I want to say that it's only supposed to have been like a year that's gone by in the show's time, but obviously it's been 3 or 4 years in actual real life time. And he's got like the deepest voice. He's taller than the parents.
Yeah,
He's
puberty jumped on his ass. In then 3 to 4 years. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
it's funny. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, that dude is not 15. I know, or I think he's supposed to be like 13 years old and doing all
What
this
are
code
they
and shit.
real ages? Like the daughter and the kid. Like, are they just is the daughter a young adult playing a kid,
Let me
or is she
see.
an actual kid? Because she doesn't necessarily sound like a kid, but it's acting. So who like
Let me see
who
here.
knows? Um,
Wow,
she
Ruth.
sounds like an adult. I know
She
Ruth is
does.
an actual adult.
Yeah, Ruth is older than she looks. She is 28.
Okay,
Um,
shit. Okay, I thought she was in her early 20s. All right.
the daughter is 22.
Okay. All right. That's why I get that feel. Then she's a young adult, so I get that feel like it's a fucking young adult talking like a college kid more or less
Hmm.
than whatever is portrayed in the show. But I mean that's another thing when you have stuff like this. And where did it do they taping? Why did it take so long with COVID? Like I know everybody had issues, but
They taped in
was it's
Georgia.
probably more mandate issues than anything.
Yeah, they were in Georgia. I'd actually like to see that area just out of curiosity. Um, how far
Because
are
it's not
you?
in big cities. It's not in big places. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's what I mean. It's not like they was around a lot of people, but he was filming through like fresh COVID, so nobody knew what was going on at all.
yeah,
So I can see why you want to totally avoid it.
yeah. I think there's only one show that I've seen. It's called The Flight Attendant, I think, where they were able to film through COVID without any interruption, but it was only because the cast was so small.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all right. Yeah, interesting to see how the show will wrap up. Who do you think was out of all the people that the birds have worked for, who do you think's been the scariest, like villain or boss?
I would still say Darlene
Yeah,
because you don't know. Like you really don't know when when it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like Dale, when they killed Dale, he was talking some shit, but I mean, it even the husband didn't even know it was coming. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So I think by her just being, I think she would be the worst. And
yeah.
because
She's the biggest loose cannon.
the main boss, he would be number two because he just seems so random. I don't he doesn't have a mindset. You know what I mean? It just seems like he's torturing somebody and then he's shooting somebody in front of somebody. He's doing this and doing that. Uh, He would be number two because of obviously how powerful he is, but he's just as random as her. Um, she's just pulling that thing out with a big old shotgun in your face, but he's just as random as her. You know what I mean? Like, uh, so that would be my number two, one and two, and if you had the top three, the nephew would be three because he's a fuck up on top of being random.
Yeah,
He's a fuck up.
I just remembered when Darlene killed her husband at the end of, not the end of, but in one of the early seasons. How I definitely didn't think that was going to happen. I thought he was going to be able to kill her when they walked
Yeah,
out into the woods, and I think she had like poisoned his coffee. And then I want to say, didn't her and her husband, they didn't have a son, but they had like an assistant on the farm, who was kind of special needs, and they had to kill him at one point, and I think she may have been the one that did that.
It was the big ass dude, right? It was a
Yeah.
big dude, right?
I can't remember if she had to do that or if the husband did it.
It was. Damn, why don't I remember Ozark like I remember anything else? I could tell you something from The Wire, from like easily. What was his name? I don't remember the dude's name. Damn, that's
Let's
crazy.
see.
I don't remember his name. I was trying to look it up, but I can't even think of his name. But I know one of them killed him, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the husband. I'm more than sure it was the husband
Okay.
because it was a random thing, and it just happened on the spot. I kind of remember the scene, but it
I
was
think
one of
he had
those just
messed something
random.
up.
Yeah, it was just a super random thing. Um, but yeah, Darlene would be my number one. She's too. Yeah, she's too gangster.
I mean, I also didn't see Darlene, number one, getting into a romantic relationship with Wyatt.
Yes.
And number two, wanting to have a kid. Bad enough that she would adopt that baby, who that baby's real dad. I feel like that was an underrated storyline when they had to kill him. Mason, that was that guy's name. The kid's dad.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he had I think he had tied Wendy up. Marty found him. Marty found both of them. And then that was the first time that they had to kill someone together.
Yeah. And another thing I didn't like, well, I'm not saying another thing. One thing I didn't like, the private eye. Can somebody shoot this dude? Like,
Oh
how
yeah.
is he just allowed to just be creeping around everywhere?
Yeah.
Like, he's not connected. He's not part of no type of cartel or nothing. He's just a private investigator from what's been seen. Why is he outside of their house? He's outside of the other lady house? He's sneaking. He's doing camera stuff. He's blackmailing people. Dude, like, what was this dude about? Like, his placement seemed very random to me too. But I thought he was very annoying. He would be on my annoying side of Ozark. His presence was pretty annoying.
He was such a cliche character. There's in these types of shows, I mean, there's a lot of things that are repeated from show to show when you have like a crime thriller investigation. But I feel like there's two things that stick out to me a lot. Number one is it's not as much in this show, but there's usually someone in law enforcement who's up for like there's usually either a sheriff or a judge who's up for reelection, and it's
Yeah.
always like, man, you know, I can't get caught with you. Like I'm coming up for reelection in a couple months. Like I can't. I'm gonna help you out this one time, and then like it leads to them like getting in trouble. And I feel like that's shit that just doesn't happen in well, where in most of like real life, it's just funny to think that that could ever happen. But then number two is they always have a detective or a police officer who has a quirk, and that guy's like
Yeah.
quirk or his obstacle is the fact that I think he got kicked out of the police or something because he did drugs. So it's like he has a problem of his own. And I'm trying to remember. Do you remember what happened to him at the end of the
I
season?
don't. I don't even remember what happened to him. Um,
Yeah, I hope he
and
I hope he
I
doesn't
have
play
no
much of
idea
a
why
role.
Ozark is not like the memories are not etched into my skull. Maybe I need to binge it one more time. Uh, because I can remember the other seasons, I can remember any other show, but I just can't remember the
Yeah, I'm glad.
the super details of this past season. Um, but he should have got murked at any point because the first time I saw him just kind of sneak up, and then he had the camera footage and he got security footage. I'm like, what is this dude? Like, can somebody just people have gotten killed for way less than what this dude is doing. And I don't know who he's investigating for, what's going on, but he could have been in the woods somewhere easily.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't play much of a role in the end of the show, but I feel like he will to have had him like so present in this last few episodes. But
And the way the show went, shit, the nephew probably killed him. The way the show went, I can't remember, but the nephew was murking anybody. He could have got him. He could have got him at some point.
I'm trying to remember because the nephew did set Marty up in that final episode where
Yeah,
he had he had their new lawyer call Marty over to the house and then like beat the shit out of him with the butt of the gun a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that new lawyer pissed me off when I saw that. I was like, you son of a bitch. Like, come on. I thought these guys were sort of in the clear here, at least to end the
Yeah.
season.
And the nephew, I'm not gonna say him as a character was unnecessary. How reckless he is pretty fucking crazy. Like he didn't come in being like manipulative. He came in this motherfucker killing people. He killed sheriffs. Like
Yeah.
he didn't come in, just trying to like, hey, get in his uncle ear, you should do this and do that. He just fucking talking about throwing a monkey wrench and shit. He's crazy. He might be past Arlene's.
Immediately asking Marty for like the sheriff's phone number or the FBI agent's phone number to try to get in touch with everyone directly.
His first scene, as soon as he brought up them taking care of the problem, going to murk somebody. And his mother's like, well, shit, I didn't know that was on me, motherfucker. I thought that was on y'all. That's something y'all supposed to be doing. As soon as he brought that up as something that's in Marty's lap, knowing they're not those type of people, I already knew he was crazy. Yeah. I already knew he was crazy. I already certified knew he was crazy, but he could be kind of past Darlene because he was just a fuck up. Like, at least Darlene murking people in a crib on a farm. That's a real controlled environment. Yeah, when he killed the sheriff, I was like, okay, this dude is just out of his mind. This man is just crazy.
When they tried to set him up, I was like on pins and needles, hoping that it was going to go through and work.
Yeah,
because it worked the first time with trying to stop his truckload of guys. But yeah,
the guns. Yeah.
That was good. But then he got him the next time with I think he just set like a bunch of bombs or explosives in the truck.
And he just blew it. Yeah. And he knew it was them off the rip. But like, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to say? Why wouldn't he just accept it? Like, you knew why it was done. You knew what it was done in the favor of. It was just the fact that it was his shipment and he wasn't bought in on it. The bus happening, that's why he got mad about it. But just stuff like that. Yeah, I think I would actually put him. I had his uncle at 2. I would put him at 2 because he's just emotional.
Yeah,
and he's a fuck up. Like, he's just real bad for business.
The 2 of the most irrational characters ever. I know I said it earlier, but I can't get over how the uncle would be like on a plane and he needs something to get done with Wendy, and Wendy would be like, the FBI agent, she's going to need some time. She just had a kid and she didn't like how you treated her the last time that you came here. And the boss will be like, no, you got 15 minutes to make it happen. I'm hanging up now and I'll see you in about an hour.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, not going for a partner. Not going for it. And, I always have these things, and obviously it's much easier said than done, right? But if you in a room, right, there was in his country and his estate, that's a little different. But let's say they was in a room with Dale at some point. Why wouldn't you just murk Dale out? Like, let's just get it done. Like, you threaten my family, you threaten the future, everything. I'm running from the cartel already, obviously, because I'm on your radar. Why not I just murk you and we just disappear? Like, it feels like a lot of the struggles can just be, of course, that would make for great television. It'd be 1 episode, 2 episodes. But how long are you just going to get played around? How long are you just be bitched out, played around? You got kids, you got to do, like, the hitman dude, you could have been murked him. Like, it's easy said and done is a thing. But when you're in that type of situation, are you gonna keep playing these yo-yo games? You know what I mean? How many times they get to threaten you?
Man, there's been so many characters.
Yeah,
there's been so many characters that maybe the birds haven't had to kill off, but the show has had to kill off because of how these people have just gotten stuck in the web and then like died as a consequence. Like I'm thinking back now, I remember remember the first white guy FBI agent that was following them in I think he was in the first two seasons, and then he was a taller guy, and he had a
I do.
boyfriend that was
Yeah.
also in the FBI. He then ended up getting killed by was it Ruth's uncle or Ruth's dad? I can't remember, but there was him.
His boyfriend was his boyfriend the black dude that came up?
Yeah, and he's
All right.
he's still around. I don't know
He's
how much they're gonna like involve him because he made like one appearance this season.
yeah, when he addressed the lady about making a statement for about him or something like that. That's the only time I see him. I knew because I was looking at him like, wait, is this okay? And I put it together, but yeah, it's just a lot of unnecessary Americans, man. Like,
Yeah,
well, a lot of
the
necessary ones too.
the uncles of Ruth, those guys
Yeah,
are fucking bad dudes. Um, who's the other one I just thought of? Oh, the girl who owned the first bar that Marty like initially invested in.
I don't
The
remember.
Yeah, she
I don't
just
remember her. I just remember the casino.
mm, actually I don't know if that girl died, but either way, she overdosed at one point, and Marty was like starting to feel guilty. So I want to say that he tried to help her run away, but yeah. Anyways, it'll be interesting to see how the show ends.
Yeah, and they've been doing a great job with the writing, man. So I assume it's gonna end logically because a lot of these great shows they leave us out. You know what I mean? Like people are still doing Sopranos theory videos on whether he got murked or not. Um,
Did you watch that whole
so
series?
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, don't leave us out like that. Uh, but I think he got murked out when the dude came back out the door, and I think Paul is the one that set it all up because Paul is the only one that didn't get touched, and he was the only one for the entire time that was more than willing to sell everybody else out. Sal got not Sal, yeah, he got hit. He was in the coma or something like that. Um, so all the people around Tony was getting hit. We didn't see nothing for Paulie. Paulie disappeared from the show. He wasn't even in the show no more. It just showed all the bad stuff started going around the Sopranos and bam, bam, bam. So I figure he was the one more than willing to give everybody up. And he would be the boss. He'd have been the boss.
Did you watch? I didn't watch Thrones. I've only seen the first two seasons. Did you watch it?
Yes.
You did.
It's an all-time show. You should watch the whole thing.
Okay.
You should
The only
finish
reason
it.
I
Even
stopped was because
the bad last season.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like
It's still worth it.
okay.
Even I would say that even the last season is only bad because us and our head had all these other big fantasies about what it should be. And they decided to just go a totally different route and make up a surprise, but people didn't like the surprise. Um, but it's a great show. It's an amazing show. It's a top 5 type of show.
I do think it's hilarious every time I think back to the fact that it felt like they were at a point where they're like, we can do anything and people are going to watch this. So let's throw Aaron Rodgers in here and let's throw
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran in here. I
Just
know they
doing
played
shit
minor
just to do
roles,
it.
but it's still funny to me.
Just doing shit just to do it. That's how the ending went up bad.
Yeah.
When you start doing stuff do it and you want to be cute. Even did you see like the reactions from some of the actors when they saw what the ending was? They hated it.
Really? I didn't
They
know that.
hated it. Yeah, they hated the ending. Yeah, they disliked it. Even like the read-throughs when they was reading the scripts at the big table, they hated that shit. They were looking at each other awkwardly, like, what the fuck is this? Like going through it. Yeah, they hated it. They didn't like it either.
It would
So
have been funny
nobody
if they
liked
were like, no, I'm not partaking in this. You can find a different actor for this
it. Oh
final
shit.
episode.
Shit. They probably getting like 2 million episodes. You better sign
Yeah.
me up. You better put that fucking camera on. I better see that red light.
What
Yeah.
what are your if you had to give a favorite like handful of shows, what's up there besides Game of Thrones?
Um, I'm not sure if you've seen Deadwood. Deadwood is
I
amazing,
haven't.
amazing show. Also, HBO show. It came out kind of around the wire, so it's around a 2000 show.
Okay.
It's more of a cowboyish, wider type of show. But Deadwood is great. The Shield is great. Used to be on
Okay.
FX. Corrupt Cop. It's Hank from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah, that show, a great show. Obviously we know The Wire and different things like that. One of my favorite shows that I'm really mad I can't get to watch it again, and nobody gets to talk about it again, which is House of Cards, because of nasty man Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
The first season of House of Cards is one of the best seasons I've ever seen in anything ever.
Really?
Ever.
I never gave that a shot.
You should definitely watch the first. If it's still up on Netflix, that means it's out there. But
yeah,
if you've never seen House of Cards it's ridiculous. It feels like an unofficial story of the Clintons, like how it, from our perspective, where they're more of a power couple than an actual romantic couple, where they just did together to make sure they hit each other's goals because they care about each other that much. The love of it has been gone for a while, but their goals is still what they got. So that's what you get for the first like 1 and 2 seasons, and you see his political role. I think he was like maybe a senator, and you can just see him climbing. He's senator in like South Carolina, and you can see him climbing in the blackmail and how they get votes. And oh man, it's a great show. It's a great show. It's just fucking Kevin Spacey, fucking is a weirdo who should be in prison, but he ruins the whole show. But he's also the reason why it is a great show, unfortunately. And I never actually remember her name, but she played Jenny in Forrest Gump, and she's the wife, and she looks incredible every episode.
Okay. Well, that was probably the reason that I wanted to go back to Thrones was, is it Daenerys?
Yes.
Yeah. Big fan.
Yeah. Huge fan.
Huge fan.
But yeah, you should watch Thrones. Don't let the last season deter you, because even when you watch the last season, you'll see because you followed it, you'll still have a lot of moments that you'll really like and really appreciate. I like a lot of the big siege, dragon siege stuff and all that type of stuff. I like that shit. So you should finish watching it. It's not the rest of the seasons are amazing. The season was good. It just didn't end how we thought it would.
Okay. I've wanted to because what I saw so far, I liked a lot.
Yeah.
I always had to have it. I felt like I was studying whenever I watched that show, like studying for a test or something, because I always had to have my phone up with a Google of the cast, because there's so many fucking characters that I didn't know who was who.
Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And like I said, over those seasons, it's one of those shows just like, I wouldn't say it's like Ozark, but it's one of those shows where everybody get their due. You know what I mean? Everybody get their due.
I've heard that.
So you don't know who's going to be here, who's not going to be here from the first season all the way down to the end. And at any point, somebody going to get murked, and there's a reason for it. So it's one of those shows, but it's worth finishing. It is a top tier show. If I was to make a top, the ending really fucked me up. 10 shows of any show I've ever seen, it would easily be in it.
Okay.
It would easily be in it. It'd probably be more 6 or 7 now because of last season instead of 3 or 4. But it would still be in it easily.
I'll definitely run that back. There's just so many good shows, I feel like, between how many streaming apps there are.
Yeah.
And each app has, 2 or 3 good shows that I really want to knock out. But
I'm completely out of it. I haven't seen, because I know Amazon has shows. I haven't seen any of those shows. Even the superhero shows. What's the
The Boys.
The Boys. I haven't seen any of that stuff. I'm way behind on that. I recommend it. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the Watchmen show. The actual show. I haven't seen that either.
I haven't seen that, and I've heard that's good.
Yeah, I've heard that's an amazing show. So I got a lot to catch up on, but it's so many shows. I was like, fuck. I just catch it when I catch it. Like,
yeah,
it's because every platform has one.
It's like going to like a restaurant with a huge menu and everything looks
Yeah.
good. And I'm like, I don't want to choose this one thing because I feel like I'm gonna miss out on everything else. And then I just end up running back something that I've already watched
All
before
right.
or something like
Yeah.
that.
That's
But
exactly what happens. I end up watching YouTube instead of a new show. But because even I haven't seen the Disney Plus shows either, Mandalorian, all that stuff. I haven't seen that stuff either, man. I have a lot to catch up on, but I know Hulu has shows.
yep.
There's a show on Amazon. I always forget the name, but it's a great concept. It was like it was a TV show based on if Germany won World War II. Germany and
Oh,
Japan won. So excuse me, the way the globe is set, it's as if they won. So like the United States is like the it's like cut up into their area. So like the West Coast is for Japan, the kind of middle and East Coast is for Germany, and there's like a little area strip in between the Midwest, kind of like through Nevada to the left of the Midwest. That's like a free zone. It's like an open area nobody can control because it's just everything going on in the area.
that would
But
be
the
fucking
whole
wild.
world is set up like that. Like so, everything they were doing in Germany, like euthanasia. If like people are disabled, they killed disabled people. They would euthanize disabled people. If you had a
Yeah.
limp, you had a little, they would kill you. So, but they set that precedent in the entire world. So it's like the United States. So it's like the United States. I think it's like the '60s. So it's like the '60s culture of the United States, but it's under heavy control by the Germans and the Japanese. It's like 20 or 30 years past World War II. So it's a good show. I would say to watch the first season. After that, it gets a little too much science fiction for me.
Mhm.
Um, but the thought process of that, how the map is split up. It was a dude walking up the street in San Francisco, and it was like the Japanese military police walking up the street and shit. So like, if you are this if you're Jewish, they're still checking your cards, your bloodline. They doing all that stuff. So they doing all that in the United States. So it's a real different type of show. And it's not violent or anything like that. It's just regular America, like 20 or 30 years after World War II, but Germany and Japan won. It's a very different type of show, but I thought it was cool. It's on Amazon. I forget the name. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know who would like that show is
Actually, I'm
Jonathan
looking at
Allen. That
Jonathan Allen. Who the hell is Jonathan Allen?
he's at that nose tackle on Washington football team.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, I just Google Amazon Nazi show. The FBI is gonna knock on my damn door.
Dude, that was one of the more ridiculous quotes because I
The Man
feel
in the
like,
High Castle. I'm sorry. It's called The Man in the High Castle.
oh, I've heard of that.
Called The
Okay.
Man in the High Castle. Yeah. Hitler, he's like in Austria. He's about to die. And he thinks everybody's his own people about to set him up. And it's a whole bunch of things like that too. But Jonathan Allen, I have no idea what he's thinking because first of all, it's a dumb answer. Um, his thought process for it, still dumb, but okay. You just wanted to know why he did what he did, why he thought what he thought. Okay. I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't even care. He's gone already. Let's talk to MLK. Fuck. Talk to somebody else. You know what I mean? Talk
Yeah.
to Einstein. I don't know. Einstein seemed like a small dude for his time. Talk to him. Why would you want to talk to? Yeah.
I also
Dumbass.
feel like it's like it's pretty obvious what Hitler's strategy was.
Yeah.
There wasn't I don't know, there wasn't much thought process behind it. So even from that standpoint, if you ignore how heinous and ridiculous that answer is, if you just take it from all right, well,
It's,
let
yeah.
me try to understand what you're saying. It didn't make sense. I also thought it was funny that he threw his grandfather into the conversation. Like
I
if
didn't
you
know
were
that.
trying
What
to
he
have
was
dinner with Michael Jackson and Hitler, why is the third person your grandfather? Like, why wouldn't you choose anyone else? Why?
Grandpa probably got some good ass questions, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Popo probably got some good questions, man. He probably just got some good questions for him. You know what I mean?
That's fair. And I don't know if like it could have been the case that Jonathan Allen hasn't like maybe his grandfather died when he was young or something like that. But it just seemed hilarious that yeah, I want to meet like the biggest pop star in the world, arguably the most evil person who's ever existed. And I'd also like my grandfather there if I could.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a dumb answer. The headline was dumb. Uh, Seeing the actual tweet of explanation,
Yeah.
that was pretty dumb too. So it was overall this dumbass answer, but
They got to take social media away from celebrities and anyone sort of famous. And I know we talked about this before that like, man, maybe that whole maybe the whole phrase of like shut up and dribble wasn't the worst idea after all, because and not just applying it to athletes, anyone famous, as soon as you hear them talk, it's like, I I wish I didn't know how you thought.
yeah. Well, in America, we have this problem, right? And it's not, I wouldn't say this is what I'm about to say is a problem, right? But we have this need for representation. Representation inspires us. We see people that look like us, not even look like us. They could have been in the same situation that we were in. It could have been an old coworker,
Mhm.
and you
Or
saw them
someone
do
from
something,
where you're from.
anything like that. And we look to that, and we look to them, and we use that story, and we elevate them up. But we put them on a pedestal almost, because you're kind of following their footsteps. You're trying to. And when that disappoints you, it makes it even worse because you followed that person. But for the most part, most people are not smart enough to even deal with most of the subjects or topics that actually come up. Like, we could use an athlete, for example. I'm not saying all athletes are dumb, but you have a clear goal when you go into college as a football player, and you think you're going to the NFL or you want to go to the NFL. That's clearly your goal. Sitting there to get a fucking uh, a bachelor's degree in whatever, it's really not. It's never was the plan. In high school, those dudes didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
They just get grades good enough to get through, and that's it. So how can you even expect them to be smart? They've never had to be. If all I needed was a C to get by or a D plus, well, shit, we're gonna get that D plus going, and I'm gonna play some A plus football. Shit, that's what we're gonna do. That's why I understand with Antonio Brown. Is he was talking like his ankle was about to fall off. The doctor said you're gonna need surgery. Well, he was playing a football game. So you let these people shoot up these cortisones in your legs so you can't even feel the bottom part of your legs. And you do that just for a check. You're gonna ruin your ankle, you're gonna ruin your knees, but then you come back and you got a fake vaccine card. So you didn't get the shot, but whatever cortisone is going into your legs, you don't know the ingredients of that, and you're getting shot out with it. So it's never been their job to be smart. It's
Mhm.
just to play football. But if I was them, I would just pay people to tweet for me.
Yeah. In
If
the
I wanted an
beginning,
online
it was
presence,
like
I
that.
would.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Well, they all want online presence now. So now we have to deal with knowing everybody's thoughts. That's the worst thing about the internet. We get to see other people's thoughts. Before, we didn't get to see that. We didn't need all this information before. You met a person and you got to know them, and it was what it was then. You didn't even know people dark secrets. Once they leave the house, you don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
Now with the internet, you know every part. You know when they left, they might take a picture over here, they might do this, they might do that. It's just a lot going on. So um we truly getting to see just how dumb the world is, and it's a little unfortunate. It's a little unfortunate. I felt like when I was in school, uh they was on my ass to get good grades. Well, what the hell happened to everybody else? Well, everybody else had to be dumb as hell. And everybody on my ass to make all A's and all B's in school. I had to make all A's. I couldn't come on with a B. And they dumb motherfuckers make triple what I do. I should have just did what they did. God damn.
I also think it sucks from, selfishly from the standpoint of just being a fan of whoever, athlete, musician, actor, that like when you and I were growing up, it was more special to follow these people and watch what they did and kind of yeah, just like Jordan, for instance. It was so much cooler to watch what he did. And if he did come out with an interview or a commercial or whatever, um, it was a moment and it felt special because you didn't see him any other times. There's no such thing as like, you never knew what the fuck Michael Jordan's real personality was, or how he talked when the camera was off,
Mm,
or what he thought about politics or anything like that. And so, like, it made them larger than life. And now, since we have so much access to these people, you
yeah.
can you can talk to them. I mean, you might know a girl who's like hooked up with them, even like dumb shit like that. It's like this, like, now you guys are kind of brought down to our level where it's like, I don't really care what the fuck you think, or um I don't, these people aren't as iconic as they once used to be, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's not good to like idolize people, but at the same time, it was like, it was cool to put them on a pedestal and just be like, this is the only time we get to see them, so we appreciate the shit that they're putting out there. Now, yeah, I don't I don't need to see like Instagram stories of LeBron rapping
I don't want
along
to see
to.
anything like that. Yeah, I don't want to see any. Like, I'm always surprised at how many Instagram lives rappers and athletes go on. Like,
Yep.
you're just looking at your phone, not even reading comments. Like, you're not even really engaging. People are just you're just saying stupid shit most times. It's people getting in your business. I just don't understand it. But
It's also like, you're famous and you're rich. Don't you have something much cooler to do than that?
the it's a lot of stunting going on, man. People
Yeah.
would just rather just be have an online presence of flossing and showing off stuff than doing good stuff for people. I don't know, but I I don't know, man. With athletes and all this shit, just kind of throw me off because I really don't really care what they think because it's everybody's in it for their own type of money, their own pocket. I understand that, so I really don't care what anybody think. All it does is just ruin everything. I've listened to Kanye West and Lil Wayne in 8 years or 6 years at this point, just based off the red hat stuff. So all it do is I'm just losing music at this point. I'm just losing shit to listen to. I done lost Kanye West. I used to listen to Kanye every day. The MAGA stuff, I can't do it, man. I ain't listened to him since Trump. So it's been what, 2016. So
Yeah.
I've been done since then. Cause it's just I mean, I have a wall. We have a moral standard that we have to uphold. Sometimes it's a little bit thinner. Sometimes it's a little bit thicker, but yeah, I just stopped listening. I just will fully not support something. I'm fine with that.
Did you think there was any chance? I know we talked about this briefly on Twitter. Any chance that Israel Adesanya was going to say anything remotely negative about Rogan? Because I
No, it
did
was no
think there
chance.
was a chance.
No,
You
I didn't
didn't?
think it was a chance at all. No, because
Yeah.
he's not. Of course, everybody's going through their own issues, whether it's relationship, racial, anything like that. But he doesn't. This is the issues we have here. This is American culture issues.
Yeah, that's true.
He's from New Zealand. They don't. Their society is not hyper. We got a hyper society. It's crazy shit going on. Football is only played here. People crashing their heads and crashing their bodies into each other. That's only played here. Guns, everybody got a gun. It's rapper with guns. It's big white people with big old guns. Everybody got a gun here. It's not like that in any other country. It's not even, you don't even access like that in any other country. So the problems that we have here, outside people really can't relate. So if he
Yeah.
just knows Joe Rogan, from interviews, a couple sit downs, that's his personal relationship with him. So I understand his point of view on that.
Yeah.
If you think somebody's a good person, but they just say some dumb shit, you come out and you say that. But you can't come out and say he didn't say nothing wrong because he obviously said a lot of stuff that he shouldn't have just been talking about. If he's in the corner of his basement, he can talk about that stuff. You do what you want. But Joe Rogan talks to the biggest audience of podcasting for like the last 10 years. Like,
Yeah.
it's disingenuous to say that what he's saying doesn't touch anybody or doesn't go to anybody because he talks to more people than pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Every day. That shit is like every day. For at least 5 days a week, he does that podcast. It's not like once a week, then y'all once a week here.
Mm-hmm.
You may get some special shit. He's every day. And he's the biggest audience. So I think what he says, he has to be more responsible about it instead of trying to play dumb. He needs to stop playing dumb. Joe Rogan's not a dumb guy.
Right.
He knows his words have some power to him, have some meaning behind them.
Yeah, if he was an idiot, he wouldn't have gotten to where he is.
Yeah. You can't be a full fucking idiot like that. But for Adesanya to talk all the establishment stuff and, the establishment don't want Rogan to do. Come on, man. Rogan got $100 million contract from Spotify, man. Right. Nobody's anti-establishment people don't get $100 million contracts from corporations. What are we talking about here?
Rogan is the establishment, whether you like him or not. Like that's corporate Spotify money.
He's been on TV since the early 90s. What's that news show? That shit's a long time ago. That shit's like 94. He's been on TV a very long time. Fifth Factor. We know Fifth Factor. That shit was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It was 20 years ago. And he's been at least the biggest podcaster at least 10 years. It's probably been longer than that. As far as his YouTube audience, because he took away his old YouTube audience to go directly to Spotify. He don't even put videos up on YouTube anymore besides small clips.
Yeah.
So he took away his full amount of YouTube money for Spotify that kind of have the rights to all that. So of course they're not going to back down on him. They paid 9 figures. They don't pay 9 figures and then back off. Hell no.
It is funny that how many episodes they had to get rid of. The last time I saw it was over 100, 110 episodes.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, first of all, I've said this before, I'm never going to say nobody is not racist. But if you have a relationship with him and you're black and you whoever, and you know he's not that type of guy, you can at least hold him accountable for the shit that he said. That's called being a man and holding your friends accountable. 70 episodes is not gaga. You can't have 70 episodes of bullshit. 70 is a lot. It's a lot.
I agree with you. I would have had less of a problem with his friends that came out if they were just like, yes, I know him, and in my personal relationship with him, I know him to be a good person. However, that being said, these are things he shouldn't have said. And if people just did that, I think it would have been more respectable than what people have said.
The context of a lot of stuff he's saying is not just like racist. People think racist stuff is like just the N-word. It's not just that. The Planet of the Apes. I go to Black Day, but it's a Planet of the Apes stuff. Like a lot of the stuff he was saying, like he talked a lot about the way Black people like learn and think. Like it's a lot of episodes like that with him talking to a quote unquote scientist about scientists thinking Black people learn slower than other people. That's why in the NFL, there's a thing with Black retired players not being able to get proper insurance compensation because the medical papers for the NFL thinks that the Black athletes that's been filing for it don't feel the amount of pain that they should. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know what it is, but they don't get paid a lot. Yeah. They don't get paid from the insurance claims. And it's a rule within the NFL that the medical rule that they used before to revoke it. So when you saying stuff like what Hulk Hogan said, I'll let her date Black men, but it got to be the rich ones and all this. Like, Jesus Christ, like, I don't know. This is just human stuff to me. Like, humans don't say this type of stuff. People say dumb shit, but 70 episodes of dumb shit for a 50-year-old is kind of a lot. Joe Rogan's 55 years old. Like, we're not talking about a spring chicken. We're not talking about an 18-year-old or 20-year-old. They find the episodes from like 10 years ago. I mean,
I need to look and see how many episodes total he's done for his show. Because it'd be funny if, he has 100 episodes scrubbed, but he's only done like 1,000 over his career. So it's like in 10% of his shows.
He might be like 1,400. It could be close to that. It could be close to that.
Yeah.
It could be really close to that because he had another big section of stuff removed for a lot of rape, sexual assault, innuendos type stuff. I think he had 110 episodes removed from that. Maybe last year, at least the last 6 months ago, but he's already had stuff removed. But my whole thing is, if you know somebody as a friend, they say some dumb shit before, you got to hold them to that. If it's enough to where you can't fuck with them no more, that's one thing. But it's enough to where you can mend it. You can just be cool and say that, but don't just absolve of what they said. Like, oh, fuck y'all, he didn't say nothing. No, you say wrong shit. People say wrong shit. You fess up to it. That's okay.
Especially, I'm sure you saw a lot of the comics that came to his defense, which is fine. But I saw one girl that was particularly bad, where she tried to make it sound like a comedian, which to me, that's not the first thing of when I see. That's not the first thing I think of when I see Joe Rogan. But anyways, she was a comedian. She said a comedian's role is to push the boundaries, make you think, and basically she was making excuses for why comedians should try to be as edgy as possible without really mentioning that a comedian's job is just to be fucking funny. So I always think, I don't know, like you shouldn't just be mindlessly edgy, but if you are, like, you better make the joke funny, or else it's twofold even worse.
Yeah, and I think I saw that tweet. I think you know what you're talking about. And this is the problem with attention. Attention puts you on a pedestal. Somehow she thinks that comedians are these incredible philosophers.
Yeah.
Of life.
She made it sound like she was a fucking NASA scientist.
Like she's fucking Socrates or something. Like she's one of them. No, you just kind of make us laugh.
Yeah.
And people need laughter. Like, and the reason she can say stuff like this, and the reason people agree with stuff like this, is something I always tweet about, and it's something I've been seeing for like the past 5 or 6 years, and it's called idolatry. You said it earlier. When people have an idol and they idolize something. Well, we already do that a lot here. We do that with the type of jersey I have on me, type of hoodie I have on, type of hats we had on. We do it a lot with sports. And everything, if you notice, all the sports shows are all debate shows now. Somebody standing across from each other. Stephen A. and Skip. Skip and Shannon. News shows are just like that. CNN, Fox News. If people actually want to know about the news, you know what they will watch? They'll watch C-SPAN. Nobody watches C-SPAN. On C-SPAN, when they vote bills and they vote actual shit in, they go over it. It's like 4 hours long, but they go over everything in a bill. Nobody actually wants that. Nobody wants the real information. They want the cliff notes to the information. And that's where we go wrong, because you can really say anything and most people believe it pretty easily. People take your word for anything if it's online. Fake screenshots, fake quotes now. The fake quotes has been crazy.
Yeah.
So I think
Ballsack Sports.
Oh, Ballsack Sports is on top of the world. Ballsack Sports.
I'm pretty sure I was like, these guys are gonna get fucking credentialed for the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Ballsack and Barstool is not too far away from each other as far as the type of. No. I know Barstool has a lot of like, I would say, toilet humor as far as sports is concerned. You know, that's what Ballsack Sports is. But that toilet humor works. It's a big section of people for Barstool. They got a huge following. But yeah, people say dumb shit, and it's just good old idolatry. And the internet is making stars and influencers and social people, and everybody thinks they're very, very important. And they're not. They're not really that important.
That tweet was so funny. Comparing it to a philosopher is exactly the best way to put it.
And they think they are, just because they say some shit that might be real shit. I can say some shit that might be some real shit. I ain't nobody. It's just some shit you felt at the time. That's not. That don't make me a philosopher.
Right.
That just make me say some shit that you felt at the time. It may not even be that deep. but people internalize different stuff. So I don't know. I think the attention, the clout type of thing, I think we're really in for something, because idolatry is at an all-time high. Nobody will properly cancel anybody. There's no cancels except R. Kelly. He had to get locked up for it, and people still protesting that. But yeah, I don't know. People just kind of say whatever they want and get mad at the consequences later. I don't know how you can get mad for what you say.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's something in the past, something old, you got to fess up to it. You got to say, hey, even if Rogan came out and said, hey, I said some stuff, we get high as shit, we're not supposed to be talking like that, I apologize. Okay, cool. Because what else are you supposed to accept? You want him to beg? You want him to grovel? That's not going to happen. Just say you fucked up. But we get all these people that just throw themselves in front of the fire for him. It just makes you even madder.
Right.
Like, why are you defending this dude? You don't have to defend that. But it's always us defending it. Why should we have to defend racism? What the fuck?
And it's always these types of incidents that, like, you think is initially going to be bad for the person who's like getting shit on, but then when you think about it, it just makes their fan base even stronger.
Yeah.
And louder.
Yeah. He already has a huge following.
Yeah.
He is he's the biggest podcaster for like the last 10 years through audio podcasts and through YouTube. They had to pay 9 figures just for him to take the YouTube videos down. Imagine that, $100 million for them to have all the rights to your content because they just wanted all the audio on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
So he took all his actual real videos down, probably made them private or something. So that's a lot of investment. That's a lot of money. People like that don't get canceled, man. Rogan's been around for a while. He's been around longer than we've been alive, damn near. So he's not going nowhere. And I know he says some dumb shit on there, but I don't need motherfuckers come out and defending him. Like, come on, man. Let him defend himself against racial stuff. Why? If somebody says something anti-Semitic, some Jewish cats don't come running out there. Nick Cannon was a slave until he apologized and got himself right. They didn't come out there and defend him. They made him set himself straight and say, hey, what you said was ignorant and you need to fix it. You need to learn from it. And that's all that needs to happen. There's no canceling, but people need to learn that the ignorance is just it's not tolerable, because none of that stuff is said to people's face like that. It don't happen.
Yeah. I think, I feel like as time has gone on and more of these incidents have happened, I'm not going to use Rogan as an example because he's such an extreme example, but
it's Teflon. Yeah, it's Teflon.
With it's like Teflon. What you said about Nick Cannon in terms of just own up to it, learn from your mistakes, apologize, and change. Like that's all that we can really expect people to do. Because I feel like the more that I hear these types of stories, let's say an old tweet comes out from, I don't know, 2010, where someone says something that you can't say today, as long as it's not like truly evil, part of me is like, I don't want that person canceled, because if you do, everyone would be canceled realistically.
Yeah.
You just want them to feel like, understand that was wrong and whatever, apologize, learn from it.
That's all you could ask. And my thing from these 10-year-old screenshots is our society was totally different 10 years ago. In 2012, we talked totally different than we do in 22. In 2002, we talked totally different. In 2008, we talked totally different than we did now, as far as the words we use and everything. So when I see old stuff that come up, it's not just, full on somebody getting called a damn monkey, but with context, we just talk totally different.
Right.
A while ago. But, I'll use Rogan for this. He's 55. At a certain age, you know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what you're saying and you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, and I just don't think any of it acceptable. Like I said, Nick Cannon was about to damn near invade Palestine itself to get some Jewish favor back, just so he can get back in some light.
Yeah.
You seen him tweeting. He was like trying to contact anybody. Who can I hang with? Who can I to teach me? Even
Mhm.
if that was fake, it at least was a reach out to like, hey, let me build a bridge. We ain't building no bridge. Motherfuckers built the bridge for Rogan. And it's a paper bridge at that, because he ain't never even go walk over it. So
I,
you got to let people do that for them. That's the only thing I don't like about it. It's not even something that I even really care about.
same.
But who are we to defend racist shits being said? What?
Yeah,
Who are
that
we? We not the ones that said it.
weird behavior, but they know that their friend is the guy with the biggest platform in the world and
Yeah.
potentially puts money in their pockets. But I didn't get to watch the fights, but that obviously just went over as it normally would, right? Like he commentated the whole thing or whatever.
No, he didn't go. He didn't go. He didn't do it. He didn't commentate.
He didn't?
Nah. He was a last minute scratch. And even Dana White after said, well, like the word before is there was a scheduling conflict.
Yeah,
Dana White
okay.
after was like, there was no scheduling conflict. Dana White said they play. He's like, there was no scheduling conflict. He just didn't commentate today. He didn't want to commentate. So I
Wow.
guess maybe he didn't want to go up there. Maybe he thought he'll feel a little heat. Maybe he thought if he went up there too quick, people would try to use the hate they got from him. They would go to the UFC. Like, UFC, why do you have this dude on your TV?
Yeah.
But they don't care. But yeah, he didn't commentate. He didn't do it. Michael
Wow.
Bisping flew in that day, because Michael Bisping, he tweeted on the way to Vegas. And everybody's like, what the hell? But he flew from LA to Vegas to commentate that day. It was the day of that they found out that he wasn't gonna do it. So I don't think there's no canceling stuff. He should be embarrassed more than anything. When you have friends that are all of all everything, black, whatever, and they come out you saying some shit like that. I mean, if you're not an actual racist, you would be pretty hurt that you hurt your friend. So maybe he didn't want to sit next to fucking Daniel Cormier after saying some crazy racist
That was the
shit.
other thing.
Maybe Cormier was like, fuck that. You're not sitting next to me. Even though Cormier is not, you don't seem like that type of dude.
No.
Maybe it's a little bit too fresh.
Still a funny thing to imagine him, those two sitting next to each other for 5 hours trying to like peacefully commentate fight.
Yeah. Well, and you never really see it how Daniel, because Daniel Cormier never came out and like defended anything.
No.
But because he's older, but he's from the South. So those type of words and that type of stuff may mean a little bit more to him than Adesanya, who is damn near half his age and live in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't commentate. I was surprised too. I thought he was. But they said it was a scheduling conflict, and Dana White after, he said it was no scheduling conflict. He just didn't commentate.
There's no fucking
He
way.
just didn't do it. He just didn't want to do it. Yeah, Dana White's like, he just didn't do it.
This is a pretty big card with Adesanya on it. So there's no way that Rogan didn't have this planned out like, months ago to be.
It was the day of. Yeah, it was the day of. It was a last minute scratch. But the fights were good. I thought the entire card was good. Adesanya and Whitaker too was a good fight, solid fight. It's not, I guess everybody expecting a knockout like the first fight, but it was a tougher fight. Whitaker was a lot stronger. Took him down. A lot of people think Whitaker won. I think he won actually.
What weight class is that?
185 is the middleweight division. But I thought Whitaker won. I thought he had enough takedowns, enough control to win 3 rounds. One of the judges had him winning. No, 2 judges had him winning 2 rounds, and 1 judge had him losing like 4. That's how he lost the fight. 2 judges had him winning 2 rounds, and another judge had him losing 4 of them. So that's how he actually lost the fight. He didn't lose the fight by that much. But who was the co-main? Co-main was Derek Lewis and Tai Tuivasa. Derek Lewis got knocked out. Big elbow, Tai Tuivasa. Tai Tuivasa is like, before he was a brawler, just a big New Zealand dude that just scrap you down. But he was real quick. Derek Lewis throws these big hooks. He was in and out. Bob out, he'll back out. And he got caught a couple times with some shots that would probably knock out a fucking donkey. For real, he took some shots, man. He took like 8, like not Whitaker. Derek Lewis holding his head right here in his hand, and he's punching it down on the side of his temple. He took like 6 straight, and he just kind of shook him off, and he knocked Derek Lewis out. It's 10-4 hats. A lot of people that think Derek Lewis threw the fight at the end. He didn't actually get knocked out. He was just tired, and he got hit real hard, and he said fuck it and quit. That's what the internet's saying. I don't think that's the case. I thought he got his ass knocked out.
These guys are obviously heavyweights, right? I'm looking at pictures.
Yeah.
Man.
So Derek Lewis fights, he weighed in at 266, but he fights a little heavier, like probably like 275. And Tatu Vasa, he might be like 250s or something like that.
Anytime you see a New Zealander with like the tribal tattoos, he's basically like if you took Jason Momoa from Game of Thrones, squished him down in the size of like a lineman, and cut his hair.
And lined
like
his
those
body
guys
up with,
scare the shit out of me.
With iron. Yeah, they look like they're made of fucking iron. They look like the toughest dudes ever. And
you know, it's funny.
He fought like it.
Yeah. It's funny because Jason Momoa and Steven Adams look a lot alike.
They look exactly alike, yeah.
And I feel like I've never seen anyone like Photoshop those two together, but they're both from New Zealand and they're both terrifyingly huge.
Yeah. And you saw the before picture of Steven Adams when he first came in. He looked like a straight dork. He had no facial hair.
Oh yeah, the short hair.
He had the short hair. And yeah, how he looks now, because he's tatted up now.
He's got the ponytail.
He got the ponytail. Yeah, he looks just like him. But how tall is Jason Momoa? He's not fucking 7 foot.
No, I think he's
probably
like
just
6'4",
towers
6'5".
over him. Yeah, he probably just towered. That was 6'5", wouldn't tower over him, but that's still fucking substantial. 7 foot to 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
Let
me see. Jason Momoa
but yeah,
height.
And then Cannonier and Brunson fought. Brunson got knocked out in the second. Cannonier hit him with a big elbow too, and some elbows on the ground. I thought they was gonna call the police. It looked bad. It looked real bad. It was real violent elbows on the ground. I think
I did see the clips of that.
I'll retweet a picture. I'll send it to you just in case you didn't see it. Jesus Christ. He's gonna kill him in there.
Man, UFC is fucking nuts.
It's brutal. Have you gotten into UFC? Can you...
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
I just
it's brutal at times. Most of the fights are not like bloody and crazy. People are just looking for like knockouts. If you just come in there and just looking to see a good scrap, then I promise you UFC will be the most fun sport for you. More than football, basketball, anything. Because it's pure. You don't have a stake in it. That's why I like baseball so much. I don't have a stake in it. I don't have a team. I just get to enjoy anybody I want.
How nasty are those videos by pitching?
Really
Ninja?
Fucking nasty. Really nasty. Really nasty.
It's like addicting for anyone who doesn't follow this guy. It's not like he's a little known guy. He's got 400,000 followers, but me and Dan talked about him before. He'll take slow motion videos of some of the nastiest pitchers making the nastiest pitches. And a lot of times he'll like animate it. So he'll show you a tail so that you see the movement on a curveball or something like that. But then he'll also take 2 different pitches and overlay them over each other in slow motion so that you can see the best pitchers have identical delivery on completely opposite pitches, like a fastball versus a curveball. It looks the same coming out of their hand. And then all of a sudden
you just seen it zoom off at the very end, at the tail end, and just slide. He did the one you sent me with the blue line and the red line.
Yeah.
And it was like the same pitch, but they just cut off too. Yeah. That's why I'm mad. It was, we getting a damn strike. I was just getting into baseball. It's my first year actually watching baseball.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was watching full games in this motherfucker. So, I went from falling asleep to every baseball game I've ever watched to watching full games in pretty much every single day. So yeah, I can't wait till we get some baseball back, man.
There's so many good young players too, like cool young players, not just the guys who have been 35 and been in the league for 10 years doing the same old thing. Like there's a lot of nasty 20 to 25 year olds in the league too. So it sucks. Like I feel like this is stating the obvious, but it's a major detriment to the league that it's happening at this time, because I feel like they have a decent chance to maybe try to gain some new viewers or younger viewers. Like I was watching
The Braves just won this World Series. Like, this is the perfect time.
yeah,
In a huge city like the Braves, big urban market, they even getting into soccer because they winning in
yeah,
Atlanta. You think they wouldn't go to Braves games? Man, that's the perfect time to jump on.
and it I feel like sometimes I put up a poll on Twitter last season during the baseball playoffs saying like which one is the best sport to go watch during the postseason, best sport to go see live. And part of me was thinking, like, I went to 2 Red Sox games during the playoffs last year, and it was an unreal atmosphere, different than a Celtics game. I've never been to a Patriots football game, but there's too many people who are just there because they're rich and not because they're actual fans. But at a baseball game, every pitch matters. So everyone's paying attention to every single pitch. Um, like I feel like everyone's got such a short hook too, whether you're a starting pitcher or a relief pitcher or whatever, that it's just high stakes from the first pitch to the end of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should check out an Astros game. That looks like a pretty cool stadium with the train tracks out in
The
the
Minute Maid, I've
outfield.
been there before. I used to go to the Astros games when nobody used to go.
Oh,
And the
really?
tickets was free. Yeah, tickets was $4 when it was the last rows. I used to go there all the time. I don't go while they winning because it just be packed up and shit. But I
Yeah.
might slide into one now. I mean, just to get a good feel of it. Um, yeah, that's why I always talk shit to Houston fans because I remember the last Astros days. They was giving away tickets, just like the Rockets. They give away tickets this year.
Yep.
Nobody shows up. As true fans show up to Texas, but I think that's only in football where fans show up every game.
Yeah. No matter
Basketball
what the
people a
record
lot more,
is.
no matter what the record is. Yeah, I feel like in basketball, if you trash, they ain't coming. They ain't coming. You got some empty seats in there.
No,
Uh,
I'm not trying to watch the 13th guy on the bench get some run.
yeah, and in baseball, I've seen empty seats and shit too. So it seems like football is the only one where they're gonna show up whether you won in 16. Lions games sold out every year,
Yep.
so we already know.
Football is the ultimate sickness in terms of like being a fan of a sport. But I'm sad that the season's over. Now I gotta completely buy back in on the Celtics, but they've actually given me a reason. They've won 8 in a row, so
Yeah,
I
they've
got
been good
something to look
since
forward to.
not since Christmas. I think they had a bad loss at one point, and then they just went on a big streak. And no Schroeder and all this stuff. I feel for Schroeder. He missed his shot. He missed his spot with the Lakers. He could, they were trying to sign him for like 4 years, 80 million.
Yeah.
That's 20 million, man. That's 20 million right there. Like,
And
I know
then
he
he
was
ended
trying
up
to
my bad.
nothing. He got 1 year, 1 million.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Oh man.
That sucks. From 20 to 1, 20 with the Lakers. So that means even if you get traded, you still get paid.
Yep.
Still get paid. KCP getting like 18 million a year. What? 12 million for KCP? And you couldn't take that 20? Man.
And now Schroeder had like he at least got to have some fun in the first half of the season. Now he's on the Rockets.
Yeah. I have a feeling they're gonna buy him out though.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're gonna give him back to the Lakers. He's gonna go back there. And the Lakers gonna probably give him a contract, a good happy medium in between. You gotta take care of him, but I don't think he's gonna stay with Houston because Houston's not playing for nothing. And why would they put a guard in when they got a whole bunch of young guards they're trying to develop?
Right.
Why would they want to play another one? Yeah, it fucking sucks, right? You get fucking 20 million, play with LeBron and AD, you turn that shit down, you get one, and you get cut, you get traded. Fuck. And now you got to play with the worst team in the league, the Rockets.
Yeah. In front of no fans.
In front of no fans. There ain't no fans in that. You can't pay me to take those tickets.
No. And yeah, not a good scene. Kind of the same thing happened to Josh Richardson, where he was having a good season. I think he was having fun too. He was like a important piece of their chemistry. Like Tatum had him in a lot of Instagram videos, so clearly the team liked him. But then he got shipped out to San Antonio, which there's at least still fans there, but it's just not. It's just a bunch of young players there. You're clearly not part of the solution going forward.
Yeah, they're not doing nothing. Yeah, they're not doing nothing out there except just hooping. They're just hooping around Murray, I guess, because why would you trade Derek White? Like,
yeah,
I know Derek White, he's not like 21, 22. He might be like 27, 28.
mm-hmm.
So maybe they want to take care of him and, put him in a winning situation. Yeah, but it's different seeing the Spurs not trying to win.
It is weird.
It's been a long time since they wasn't trying to win, or at least get to the playoffs.
I think Popovich is within range of like the all-time wins record, and it might have been Trilly that said this, that they're probably just trying to help him get to that, and then next year they'll get a new coach.
Yeah, but who coaches the Spurs after Greg Popovich?
Right.
Like,
what's like the style that they're gonna play
in the organization, I assume. And I think the last time they tanked, well, they missed the playoffs last year, but the last time before that was when they tanked to get Tim Duncan.
Yep.
And then it just went on like 20 years, 21 years playoff streak. But yeah, Jesus Christ, yeah. What the Western Conference in general, it's a little tough. The Lakers might be a 10 seed right now.
Yeah.
They're 10 seed. Are the Pelicans?
I think they're
maybe 9.
Let me see.
Because top 10 is considered playoffs now. The last two teams, they do a play-in game, right?
Yep.
The 9th seed and the 10th seed, they do one game.
Let me see. See what the standings are.
I think the Timberwolves was in the top 10 playoff picture at least. I think the Pelicans maybe like 9. Timberwolves might be 8.
There's definitely some surprising teams. Okay.
I'm trying to think.
So the Blazers are actually somehow in the 10th seed now, but the Pelicans are only a half game out.
Wait, the Blazers in the 10th seed?
Blazers 10, and then 3 games ahead of them is the Lakers in the 9th seed.
Okay, who's 8?
The Clippers. A game and a half in front of the Lakers.
Okay.
And then the Timberwolves are 7.
Okay, who's 6?
Nuggets.
So you telling me right now Portland got a better record than the Pelicans?
Yes, sir. Dame Dollar. Rip City.
That makes no sense. How many games up are they for the Pelicans? Like 1 game?
Only a half game.
Okay. That's still bad though. That's still sad. Still real sad. No Zion at all. I don't think he's gonna play this year.
No. Yeah, I feel like it'd be crazy to play him at this point. What's the point? So you can get to the 8th seed, and then
they just traded the rest of the Lakers pick to get to the 8th seed. You would want this motherfucking ass to come play. Yeah, you better show up. The rest of the Lakers picks is gone. They gave at least 2 of them to Portland just now. I think that was maybe the last 2.
I haven't seen any like footage, pictures, or videos of him in a while.
He's supposed to be training in Portland. When I seen the Portland trade, I actually thought he was being traded. Because he's been in Portland rehabbing for the last like 2 months. He don't even rehab with the team.
Huh.
Yeah, he don't rehab in New Orleans. He been rehabbing in Portland.
Just
That's why I was surprised that the trade was in Portland. I thought he was trading his ass.
Just hanging out at Nike.
Something. I don't know what else is there to do in Oregon. It must be some kind of great, foot specialist up there, but I never heard of nobody going up to Oregon.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
My guy makes that all bad. Yeah,
no worries.
I knocked it out all bad, but I never heard nobody going to Oregon to do anything, rehab or any of the sorts. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Who doesn't rehab with their team?
Yeah, that's really strange. Why do you need to go to another city unless there's something crazy technological or medicine wise? But I don't think that's the case there.
Who doesn't rehab with the team during the season
Right.
that you're expected to come back and play in? You would expect that type of camaraderie, the type of to take place, but yeah, that ain't the case. That ain't the case at all. But again, on them, you trading all the picks. David Griffin is probably his last year. And I mean, cuckoo for them. Too bad. So sad.
Last
That's
thing,
over.
my bad. Yeah, we just went fucking 2 hours.
Oh shit. So it's
My
like
bad.
goddamn me and Trill here. It's all right.
Last thing, did you happen to see the halftime show?
I
The
did not.
clips of it?
Not this year. Nah. But I mean, I know everything was going on. I mean,
Yeah.
Pretty much Dr. Dre got his crew out there.
It was, with the exception of Eminem, I thought it was pretty entertaining.
Why didn't you think Eminem was entertaining?
I didn't like that he chose a song from 8 Mile. He did the 8 Mile song, Lose
Lose
Yourself.
Yourself?
Yeah.
All right, that's his most popular song.
It is. And I guess like there's only so many songs that he could choose from to perform on,
The only ones that gonna let him
NBC.
perform. Yeah. The only ones that gonna let him perform. Yeah. That's why 50 had to do in the club.
That's true. Did you see the video of them showing how 50 got under there to like hang upside down? Oh man, it was hilarious because I knew that was like everyone watching that knew that was going to be a viral moment when all of a sudden they panned down from the top stage where Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg had just like opened it and they were awesome. Slowly panned down, there's 50 just hanging upside down. And I was like, I wonder how fucking long he had to be hanging there before they gave him the cue. Like, all right, you're start your verse. But no, it's pretty funny. They showed him. I thought that there would have been a cooler way where all he did was there must have been a bar there. He lifted himself up and then just hung upside down. But I thought that there might have been a cool way where he could like sneak into a little, I don't know, trap door or something like that. But yeah, otherwise it was pretty good. And yeah, I just wish Eminem had done a different song. I don't really care for Kendrick Lamar. Like I'm not a fan of his. So
Amazing. And what did he do?
Did
he do like We're Gonna Be All Right or something?
He started with that.
Okay.
And then he did another song. I don't like his voice. So that's why I'd never like been a fan of his.
I'm not a fan of, well, I wouldn't say I'm not a huge fan of Kendrick Lamar's music, but I do think Good Kid, Mad City is one of the greatest albums I've ever heard. Easily. If I had to make a top 5, it would be in it. I think it's that good. I think it's that great. Aside from his rap voice, which I don't like, and rap voices is a major part of why I listen to a lot of rappers. So I feel you on his rap voice.
Mm-hmm.
But Good Kid, Mad City in particular was so just well put together production wise, and every song folded into the other. That's why I really liked it. But the rap voice shit, I do get, because there's a lot of songs from him I don't like.
What were the hits from that album?
Well, the first one was the one with Drake.
Okay.
The Drake one.
Yep.
I can't think of all the other like singles, but I know it was good songs like Money Trees, and it was a lot of good songs on there. I just don't remember the singles because I don't remember singles like that in general. I remember the one with Drake, because it was a different beat. It's a different style, and the video was different. He was hanging upside down and shit too. That's how I just remembered it. He's hanging upside like a fucking fruit bat, like 52. So yeah, I'm not a huge Kendrick guy, but I understand what you're saying. I understand what you mean. Rap voice. My rap voice thing is really for women rappers. I really need a good rap voice. The Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, like deep, like that voice.
Yeah.
I like that more than any other. Like if they don't have a commanding like rap voice, I can't listen to it. Like Cardi B, I just can't listen to it.
Do you like Meg?
Not really.
No. Okay.
Not really. I like her. I like what she's doing and all that, but no, I don't like the music. That music, it's not for me. I don't feel like it's for me.
Yeah.
The Lil Kim, the Foxy Brown, that style, it's a little bit more grimy. That's why I think I can fuck with it. You know, it's a little bit of, but I don't listen to a lot of like I don't have Lil Kim hardcore in my rotation. But I know it's a good album. You know what I mean? It's not for
Yeah.
me. She's talking some explicit stuff, eating a whatever. That's not. I'm riding in the car. I'm not listening to that. So, but her rap voice is very commanding. She was always a great rapper, whether it was her writing shit or not.
Yeah.
But for women in particular, I always have that. Like Cardi B, I can't listen to Cardi B because Cardi B, to me, even though I may like the song, it sounds as though she's reading off a page. Somebody just came in and said, "Hey, take this paper right here, read this shit. It's gonna be fire." And she just take that shit and she just make a hit off it. I think
Must
a
be
rap
fucking
is.
nice.
I mean, shit, yeah, it's happening. I think I take rap a little bit more serious. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm not a huge Drake fan or anything. I take it a little bit serious when it comes to rap. It's it's some I don't listen. I'm not listening to Nas and Lupe Fiasco over here. I still listen to some crazy shit. But I do kind of take it serious, the
No.
artistry of it.
No boom, no bap.
Yeah, no. I'm not kicking pushing around here. Yeah, I don't listen to none of that shit. But that's the part of rap I think should at least stay sacred. And R&B has always been like that. Somebody else write it, you sing it. In rap, we kind of have some rules and fucking regulations around here. But it got some rules. Smokey Robinson was writing songs in the 60s. All those great 60s and 70s hits we all know, your parents know. Smokey Robinson wrote all that shit. So this has always been a precedent. Quincy Jones in the 70s, 80s was writing all that shit. This has always been a precedent. But that's singing. I can't have Drake do this, man. I can't listen to Drake do stuff like this, man. If somebody come in, hand in the sheet, and he just read off this shit, and it's just a hit. I can't. That's too much for me, man. That's cheating. That's like eating a cheesecake in the morning for breakfast. I can. It's gonna taste good. But why would I? Why wouldn't I just eat normal breakfast? Put some fucking eggs on. You know what I mean? Let's have some rules here. Let's have some standards.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on? But yeah, that's the only thing. I'm just not a huge Drake guy like that. I have some standards for rap.
Fair enough. Bit. He's pretty sing-songy.
He's real sing-songy. I'm not a huge fan of that stuff. I'll go listen to actual R&B before I listen to somebody singing in my rap songs. Damn, Kitty Cat woke up and he's crazy, man. What? Oh, yeah, it's just I understand it. I think a lot of people was complaining about the halftime show as like it's our old people show. We the old people now.
I know.
It's the old people show. You know what I mean? That shit came out in 2002. That Al Green and all them there. I mean, Al Green's still alive, but his days of performing is over. That they did that shit in the 90s. He got his old school run in the 90s.
Dr. Dre is the same age as my dad. Me and Dan talked about this the other day. That's how I know we are washed up.
Yeah. Well, Dre is considerably older than me or you. Dre is like 55, 56. Yeah. He may even be 60, actually. He might be 60. Close to it, because if Jay-Z is 52 or 53, he's older than Jay-Z.
Snoop is 50. 50 is 49. And then Eminem is like 46. Something like that. But yeah, it's crazy to think about. But yeah, Snoop and Dr. Dre still sounded pretty good. Still sounded like their young selves. So
it still carries. That music still carries, man. Early 90s music.
Yeah.
And 2000 music, it still carries a lot. Yeah.
Snoop dressed in blue head to toe.
A silk gangster crip rag. I don't know. It was real silky he had on, but I thought it was hilarious him taking a little puff.
Oh yeah.
Before the performance, that really showed he still get a lot of, it's still big to him. It's still important to him.
Yeah.
And he had those butterflies.
Nothing looks as smooth as a Snoop Crip walk. I always think that's like it's like one of my favorite things to see in in one of his performances. It just looks like it's meant to be. But it's funny that he was doing that on a national concert.
Yeah, and apparently they had like actual dancers crip walking and shit like this, and like 20 people crip walk. Yeah, it's all a big thing. It's LA, it's California. I guess they can do all that shit out there. That shit is just crazy to me. But Mary J looked great, man. Mary J looked amazing. Jesus Christ, she's got to be up there too, at least.
Yep.
I think she's younger than all of them, even though she probably came out before. I know she definitely came out before 50. She probably came out maybe a year or two before Drake. And
that sounds
she
about
looks
right.
younger than all of them.
Yeah.
She looks amazing out there.
Crazy. I think really the only ones that looked pretty like older were Eminem and 50. And that's because 50's like gained weight.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, how would you I seen people say that like it was 20 years ago though, you know what I mean? Like we seen him upside down 20 years ago. What's a 49-year-old man? What's gonna happen to him unless he's eating a vegan diet or something, he's eating plants and shit all day. Yeah, he's gonna become a big boy. That made me want to do it, man. It seems like the only way to really control your weight, even when you're older, is to be on that low calorie all the time, because we're still younger, but the higher you go, the worse it's gonna get for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about just switching over right now, get it over with. Become a vegetarian right now.
Get that get rid of that carnivore life.
Yeah, I need enough steaks in my life already, man. The only thing I'm gonna miss is chicken. That's the only thing I'm missing. Man, some Korean fried chicken, boy, I'll be tearing that shit up. That's the only thing I'm gonna miss.
I could go pescatarian. I could do just fish.
Just fish, yeah.
Yeah, I could do that.
I mean, I think, like I've seen people physically, just seeing people transform in front of me from taking on a vegetarian diet, not vegan, because vegan to me is a little extreme. Mm-hmm. Vegetarian diet, it's just their protein mostly comes from eggs and everything like that. A vegan, you don't do eggs or anything like that. I don't think you do none of that shit.
Right. I did it for a little while. It was hell.
I mean, I assume finding food in general, you got to like figure out what to eat.
Yeah. You have to plan it ahead of time. There was a person that I knew, like a friend of a friend, who had lost a ton of weight, and it was mainly from changing her diet. So she started like a meal prep business. So she would I paid her like every week, and she would bring me a week's worth of food, but it would be 3 meals every day plus 2 snacks. And it worked. I definitely cut weight. The only problem is there's only so many different things that she could cook.
Yeah.
So eventually you start to get bored. Yeah, you start to get like bored. I was eating a lot of tofu. There's only so many different ways that you can cook tofu before you're like, all right, like before it was cool, but now I've been eating this meat substitute for a while. Like this isn't even close to meat. So it affects you like mentally. You start to crave the other stuff, and it's weird how that stuff works with your body.
And I don't really miss I think I can go without it. I think I can easily go without it. I would just have to find what the fuck do you eat. I mean, as far as being a vegetarian, or a pescatarian. What pescatarian is easy. You just throw some fish and everything. You can figure it out. It's a lot of different type of fish and all that type of stuff. So you can figure that out. But to me, being vegan, it takes a lot. It's a lot more mental, because there's already a lot of people that just recognize food is just fuel for the body. It's not for taste. It's just, let me just slam this down and finish what I'm gonna keep doing. It's a lot easier for those people to just, eat beet salad.
Right.
Yeah, not so easy for you, boy.
Yeah. If you actually like flavor,
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
not so fucking easy.
That's not so easy. Not so easy. But I found great substitutes I could bring in. Like I've really appreciated vinaigrette, like red vinaigrette, using vinaigrette for salad dressing. You know, for the longest you grew up, you always like ranch dressing, Italian dressing, and all this shit. I could just throw all in vinegar on it and be good.
Yeah.
So getting older and just figuring out what you like and don't like, I think I can do it. I think I'll try. I'll try being a vegetarian tonight. I'm gonna look up some shit. Next time we get on here, that's what the
Here.
hell we're gonna discuss.
Yeah, you guys share some
How I
recipes.
failed being a vegetarian.
We're gonna talk about vegetarianism and the Hateful Eight and the Departed.
Yes.
And the Departed.
Yeah, and the Departed. And the
Yeah.
Departed. But you should definitely watch Hateful Eight. It's a definitely
I'll check that out.
Tarantino, it's Samuel Jackson, it's Kurt Russell, and a bunch of other motherfuckers. I mean,
I don't have to
Samuel Jackson's
see
Kurt Russell is enough.
right.
And
I don't have to see
Tarantino.
like other Tarantino movies to understand it, right?
Now it's just his own standalone thing.
All right.
But it's just 4 hours.
Damn.
It's just a 4 hour movie. That's all.
That dude
And I
makes
think
some fucking long ass movies.
the director's cut might be 5. Yeah, so half a work shift.
Yeah, the shortest that he goes is like 3 hours, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's enough.
Hey, I'll take that, man. I'll take it over Kill Bill every 8 years.
Yeah.
We don't get no damn sequels to nothing. We're supposed to get a sequel to oh my God, what's the movie that came out and they robbed the bank? One of his first movies. Geez, I just can't remember anything. Fuck.
Is that the one?
One of the first movies, they robbed the bank, and the way the movie plays out, one of the guys is a cop, and they're trying to figure out who's the cop. Why can't I think of this movie? I gotta Google it because I need to.
I haven't seen many of his movies, so I wish I could answer.
I just
Is
typed in Dalmatian movies. Reservoir Dogs. What the hell is wrong with me? Somebody's gonna call me a dumbass for not.
Oh, that's
Reservoir
Tarantino?
Dogs. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, that's one of his first ones. But it was supposed to be a Reservoir Dogs Part 2. We never got that. That shit came out like 1992. And
Yeah.
we never got nothing after that. So that's why I would rather watch a 4-hour Tarantino movie because waiting on a sequel. Kill Bill 2 came out years ago.
Yeah.
It's been 10 plus years at this point, at least. So yeah, that's why we just got to go for let me see when it came out. 2003. Kill Bill 2 came out. 2003.
And is there more? Are there more than 2 or no?
Yeah, it's 2 of them. We're supposed to be getting a 3.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It was supposed to be, well, it's been long enough now. But did you see Kill Bill Part 2? Volume 2?
I've only seen the first one, and it was a long time ago.
I was gonna tell you a part. You need to see it.
Okay.
So Hateful Eight, Kill Bill Volume 2. Those are
Gotcha.
A1 movies. That you definitely need to see.
You should watch. He's a bad guy, but since you liked him in House of Cards, have you seen American Beauty?
Yes. From Mr. Weird Spacey. Yeah. You know, I seen that first time on regular old TV.
Oh, really?
And then I saw it again on like Cinemax or some shit. Yeah, I saw it on like USA.
Oh, okay. So they probably cut some shit out.
Yeah, that's why I remember I saw it again on either Cinemax or Stars. I wanted to see it because I knew it was gonna have cursing in it and shit. So yeah, I see that. Movie. I thought it was good. Yeah. Yeah, he's a nasty man, but he makes some good movies. Back in the day, he made some good shit.
My only recommendation for you then is Barry on.
I do need to watch that. I've seen YouTube clips of it and I really like it, but I've never actually watched the show.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you like just awkward, dry comedy, but if you do, it's fucking hilarious. I don't know if you have HBO.
What is it on?
HBO
it's on
Max.
HBO. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've seen clips on YouTube. What's the weird dude with the bald head and no eyebrow? He's just hilarious.
Yeah. NoHo Hank.
NoHo, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've seen clips on YouTube of it, but I haven't watched the full show yet.
Yeah.
But I'll do
Check it
that.
out.
I'll
I
do that.
think so there's only 2 seasons. And I think that the third one is coming out soon, but that's a great show. And it's only a half
Got
an
it.
hour, so you can easily like rip through them. But
Yeah, it ain't
yeah,
a
man.
fucking work shift.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming through. You
Appreciate you for having me, man.
you hopping on the Twitch tonight?
Well, shit, it's still early. Yeah, probably.
All right. I will be there. Oh, I meant to ask you. This has nothing to do really with the show, but when you go on Twitch, because I don't understand how Twitch works, having like since I don't do it myself, you can still talk to the people that you want to play with on your headset while you can also see like my chat.
Yeah. So how my Twitch is set up I play on console for right now. So the chat is not in front of me directly. It's on my other computer. So not my actual TV. So
Oh,
I hook my computer up to my TV and I hook my game up to the monitor. And that's how I play on a computer monitor. And I'm looking at the comments on my TV. So when you say something, you
oh,
reply to it, I can reply to it fast because I'm looking at it pop up on another screen.
yeah.
But I can still hear them in the party chat. It's just hard to it's better for me to stream by myself because it's hard to talk to them and talk to the chat, you know what I mean? Because they be going crazy.
So are you always playing like when the people that are in your headset, is that always strangers or do you ever
Nah, it's
have
always the
like
same
friends
people.
and family? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's always been the same people. My cousins. Been the
Gotcha.
same people, yeah. Every time we've been on Xbox, it's been the same shit for years.
I feel like half the time I'm laughing, even though I don't know what's being said on the other end, but it still sounds funny. So yeah, I enjoy, and anyone who's on Twitch should definitely check you out. So yeah, man. Before we
Appreciate it.
get you out of here, can you tell us like how to find you and everything?
You can find me on the Twitter machine at Dusty Wodes. You can find me on the Twitch machine, twitch.tv/Whoadie sign. Two primary places, also YouTube, How Boy Whoadie. I'm not big in a lot of other, social media, anything like that, Instagram, anything like that. I don't like none of that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, y'all hit me up.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming by. That was episode 157,
Jeez.
and we will see you guys next time.